okay, was a bit began a person like cannot comment on what money on the edge of your now. Your quays, who say attach as a mouth or kind. Ah, one will be a D, one political party be a D. And no, and John Dramani Mahama, the 8. Bawa, Mutari, and Joyce Bawa. On the Zimbia Babetuya. Now, there's a more than 2 piano. Say, yawo say bio na waka zongo from waka makaranta enya some godwa ko didi makaranta for us atemba sa wodidi o matemba sa na zongo for so monti ase kremofo bi so montwe masa anse na waka so mavo o ma retry enya some godwa mavo.
If not for the MPP, I didn't know someone taking alcohol for medical purposes is a crime. Who is that someone? Madam Joyce Bawa, who did you describe in your post on the 31st of August 2024 that alcohol is prescribed as medicinal for that someone? Who was that? She went further to explain your flag bearer, that is MPP's flag bearer, speaks like a Makaranta teacher. Worry about that, and that has no cure. Today, if another person should go somewhere and stand and talk about somebody's medical prescription was to take alcohol, would you follow that person? So that is why I said every name that is directed to former President Mahama came from their backyard. This is her aide, Joyce Bawa Mokhtari. Who is that someone you were talking about? Who? That person is taking alcohol for medical purposes and it is not a crime. Who was that person? So you see, these people, they will do all these things and then try to turn around to point accusing fingers at others. It doesn't augur well.
So, we are kind, so we drunk. I must say, Obianka say, be a drunkard. I hear some more kind, one movie. Oba binya matro. I chiri. Says Obi no man sana so the no dress no say very drunkard. Obi abonidi. Obi abu bitin. Mpakro na wo tro sa ma no. Yawanya. Na makaranta for so so wodidi o mantem. We use Dr. Mama Bawumia. We did Dr. Mama atem. No say di friends makaranta for antem. Why like oh I don't know person we dirty politics. But politics are sana money idea be am ka che Ghana for. I don't know Ghana for ntom baby bi o. And now we the same way nam ha. Na we di nam ha. I dey this for mo ya bre mo. Mama for to aso wa hanum say yen ko ni nguti.
So you see how platforms are for Saboda Allah. That's Senator Kuni. MPP communicators who are Allah. Na resida Allah. Kadaran Allah ba mutun zai tare shi. Kadaran Allah da mutun kana wasa da kadaran Allah. Shi ka lallace. Shi ka sullace. Ku bar su ciki. Ku bar su ita yi. Amma sun ga abin da zai kai su. Sai sa ina rokan ku ne cikin zangonnin mu. Billahi azim. Addinin musulunci suke yacin nan. Addinin musulunci kenan. Saboda cikinsu ba randa inji fifi kwete wo ba randa musulmi zai zama presidentin Ghana akan kuwa kai ma Allah no ya hallace ka ba an sawa ne ko an sage itace ne aka fidda ka. Allah ya hallace ka through haifuwa manka amma yaron ya zauna ya bushi iska wai ba randa musulmi zai zama presidentin Ghana da kaddaran Allahu Akbar, kaddaran Azza wa Jal, kadaran Allah da mu samu president da ya zama musulmi cikin aga Ghana ga insha Allah da kadaran Allah duba hasadan da suke cikin nan a bar su ciki mun yada duba Rasulullah da kanshi ma sallallahu alaihi wasallam bai same shi easy ba lokacin da aka sauko mishi da annabci mutan sun tashi sun sai suka ce shi wangan nan bai isa ya zama annabi ba don one ba yana fito cikin wani family da suke da kudi ba ne family da suke da suna wanga dan shepherd ne ya za a zabe shi ya zama manzo shi sa mu bar su ciki amma ina rokan kowane zango kowane musulmi ina rokan ku ne billahi azim mu bar difference mu zo mu yi guda mu vote massively mu ba MPP wallahi kowane musulmi a gidan duniya mu bar komi mu zo mu yi guda saboda Allah da kanshi ma ya tun sanar da mu ne cikin alkur'ani wani yazo ya kai mu kama juna mu dauke addinin musulunci bisa ko mu bear difference mu shi mu duka mu zo mu kama juna shi sa ne nake rokan ku wa Allah mutan gaba su da nayi
okay one for video and kasa no ya no na dia ya ntiase but hwima so description na egu oni nyina kire say zongo so no manya dey to rise up and protect the future of their children so what I say I also to abandon massive amount of Dr. Bawumia and this form ben baby this is zongo baby no more clear more clean there your money no the pressure is in back 7 in 80 kuruman ze among we could be one so a senior mine Paul Adam watch I be or more drunk man in Semono I be we to I uncle.
Show me the video of Atachian first, and then I'll tell you the conversation I had with Atta and what he told me, how he explained it. Show me the Atachian video.
Economies here. Nehojo. Onyansafu oba. Onyansafu awano musa. Oh, mukaso nyami achira yo, nyami achira. And now me catch him say, Ghana ya benya onyansafu awano musa.
Apologize, I'm continue.
Mumpe we na mupa sutro. Obi kaso nyami achira yo.
So then I saw it on social. Where's my phone? I saw it on a social media, and people were texting me and sending to me that you see your man. Have you seen your man? So I called Atta. I call him Leonard or Nyaminipa. Atta likes to be referred to as Nyaminipa. So he picked up the call. He calls me the excellent one. So when I say, oh, the excellent was Nyaminipa. He said, oh, Koda, I didn't need the dean. I said, Atta, but I have a problem. He said, what is it? I said, what did you go and say in Chibi? He said, about what? I was campaigning. I said, but why are you calling John Mahama names? He said, me. I didn't do that. I said, but I've seen your video. He said, which video? Send it to me. I sent it to him. Then he called me back. He was laughing. He said, Leonard, but what did I say? I didn't accuse John Mahama of anything. I said that our candidate does not do X, Y, Z. And I said, oh, but if you say that our candidate does not do X, Y, Z, you are indirectly implying that the opponents, because Bawumia has only one opponent in this election. John Mahama has only one opponent in this election. Bawumia doesn't have many opponents. So if you say that our candidate does not do X, Y, Z, then it's presuming that by intelligence analysis, that the other candidate does that. He said, T. So the argument was getting heated between Atta and T. Jai, sao journalism. Jai. I said, Dr. Dufour is the one who said it. So I said, Dr. Dufour? He said, yes. Now Dr. Dufour can't want it. Dr. Dufour can't. I couldn't see how Dr. Dufour, looking at him, his demeanor, and I know him very well, will say something like that. So I challenge Atta that I don't believe you, Atta. I don't believe this is part of your trafficals you are doing. He said, it's not traffical. So he was arguing with me on the phone. He said, are you on your phone? I said, yes, I've just sent you something. So I opened it. It was a letter that Dr. Dufour wrote to Johnson Asiedu Ketia, General Secretary as he then was. Have a look at the letter. Please post the letter. Now, this is a letter written by Kwabena Dufour, and it's written to the General Secretary of the National Democratic Congress, headquarters Accra, 2023. Dear Sir, urgent matters for concern. Now, let's look at the matters Dr. Dufour addressed. He says as follows. We write with felicitations to the national executives, our dear delegates, and to all supporters of our cherished National Democratic Congress. It is a crunch moment, and we cannot take chances. Looking at how desperate the governing New Patriotic Party is to hold on to power. After they have created economic crisis in Ghana due to mismanagement of the economy, they still want to remain in power to create more hardship for Ghanaians. As a party, we find ourselves at crossroads to choose between a candidate who is blemished with scandals and one with a proven economic track record. All around the world, Dr. Dufour continues, the biggest issue is how to tackle the cost of living challenges. Therefore, the December 7, 2004 leadership race in Ghana is all about the economy. Team Dufour wants to bring to the attention of our cherished delegates and party executives that Ghanaians are looking up to the NDC to elect a flag bearer who can roll out policies that can fix the economy within 2 years. Therefore, we need to present a presidential candidate who is sincere and whose political record is not tainted in any way. The current economic challenges require that we do not need a flag bearer. Now, this is the critical part. He says, the current economic challenges require that we do not need a flag bearer who has been described as a government official, one, in the Airbus scandal and confirmed as such by the former special prosecutor, Martin Amidu. The NDC does not need a flag bearer who will take the party and its structures for granted, like we have seen over the years. The current times in which we are requires that we do not elect a flag bearer with a serious alcohol addiction issues. We need a flag bearer who can be sober enough to tackle the challenges that we face as a country. It is for the above reasons that blah, 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 blah. So Dr. Dufour said, in the current times in which we are, requires that we do not elect a flag bearer with serious alcohol addiction issues. My goodness. But why? What was Dr. Dufour? What did he mean by that? I mean, when Atta sent it to me, I've never seen this letter before. In fact, this evening I was telling Apreku, my producer, I have never seen this letter before. And he was explaining to me that, Apreku, bring back the letter, that it's an internal memo that may have leaked. So he pointed it out to me. So he was telling me that I should look at the base here. It is received. This is a letter to ND. It's an internal memo that was received. We just blocked out the number of the person who received it so people don't start calling him. But he was telling me that this is an internal memo. So I was trying to understand how did it leak. But Atacha is telling me that this is where it's Dr. Dufour who said it. But I mean, my hands were tied. I was going to hit Atta so hard. So I picked my phone. I called Miracles. I said, Baba, what did you say on news file? He said, oh, he calls me senior. I said, senior, I didn't say anything. When I was concluding about Dr. Bawumia, I said that our flag bearer is not corrupt and he is not a drunkard. This is what Miracles said. He said. And I said, oh, but Miracles, if you say that, what do you mean? He said, Baba, but I haven't mentioned anybody's name. They mentioned Bawumia's name and said Bawumia is a liar. I didn't mention names. I said, you can say Bawumia is a liar all you want. But our flag bearer, Dr. Bawumia, is not corrupt. He's not government official one, and he's not a drunkard.
Okay, I'm for that. So, I say I'm going back away from two. And this is for I'm going back. Come on, the phone a cocaine. We are cocaine. Drunkard, we are for one doctor phone a cover by the way. Mubu been in aqua, Mokanam and Coco, Panama woman Bramba, Dr. Mamuba, so no woman Bram ran before so now near Tatiam or Munia, which she must have one of my So, my fight began a comment of comments of my camera.